Today on Ag Etc. I talk with Sarah Zuoff, entomologist from Kansas State University, over Asian Giant Hornets, or more commonly known as murder hornets. Learn if these murder hornets from Asia are invading North America. Next, learn how Carol Trig, professor in plant pathology at K-State, is working with the Kansas Soybean Commission on a project using genetic engineering to enhance soybeans. Next, meet this week's young leader in Ag Colton Sutterby. A student from Kansas State University shares his experience in the Collegiate Farm Bureau organization and some accomplishments along the way. Finally, for Beef Month, the Kansas Beef Council showcased the cars in a virtual ranch tour. Get a glimpse into their low-stress cattle handling techniques and their approach to feeding cattle. It's all coming up on Ag Etc. Stay tuned.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Kansas Farm Bureau has served farm families and rural Kansas for more than 100 years, and we're pleased to offer new healthcare coverage choices for Kansans in 2020 through Kansas Farm Bureau health plans. No matter what stage of life you're in, we'll have options that fit your lifestyle. Plus, our network of providers is one of the largest available throughout the state of Kansas and beyond. For more information, including the different plans available, or to get a quote, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
I'm Britton Rucker, and this is Ag AM in Kansas. Sightings of the Asian Giant Hornet have prompted fears that the vicious insect could establish itself in the United States and devastate bee populations. Sarah Zuoff, entomologist at Kansas State University, is with me now via Zoom to speak more on this. Welcome, Sarah.
Hello.
Now, Sarah, how common are these hornets in Asia, and how much alarm do they cause?
In their native habitat, they're pretty common. The honeybees that are there that are native with them have evolved with them, so they have a better defense mechanism. In other countries that these Asian giant hornets invade, the honeybees are less apt to be able to protect themselves because they didn't evolve with the species. And so they're kind of defenseless, really.
So are you surprised that the hornets have appeared in North America?
Not really, considering they have invaded every other country. There's probably been lots of imports of the hornet, but as far as I know, they've never found any in North America that have actually established themselves. They get imported in cargo and plants and potting soil and all sorts of things, but usually they just don't establish. I'm not sure how many times they've been intercepted at our border control, our plant protection specialists that watch those things, but thankfully they've never actually taken hold. This is the first time.
So what kind of conditions do these insects need to live in?
In their native habitat, they prefer more mountainous valleys. They prefer not to be in the plains like we are. They like a lot of tree cover. They usually will nest in burrows of rodents and other ground-dwelling insects. And they actually prefer conifers, some of the more pine trees and things. So they like that habitat a little better than our habitat. That's one of the reasons why they probably will not be found in Kansas anytime soon, is our habitat ecologically is not really the perfect place for them to be. The Pacific Northwest would have been the best place for them to be in if they were to come in.
Now, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, if more hornets are found, could they threaten other honeybees and other pollinators?
So yes, they definitely can pose a threat to any of our insects that we have in North America and in the United States. The European honeybee is actually not native, but it is obviously very important to our commodities and a lot of our farms. And so that is the biggest threat. They do also hunt for other insects as well, and they are kind of a dominant hornet. When they're found with other hornets, they are more dominant than all the other ones. So they usually push all the other ones out, outcompete them.
Now, Sarah, final thing, a lot of news stories are labeling these as murder hornets, is calling that murder hornets overreacting.
A little bit. They have a very painful sting, and so they can inflict some damage on people. When it comes to the murder part, it's more for the honeybees. They are known to kind of invade the honeybee nest. They grab them, they decapitate them, they kind of turn them into a muscly mush that they bring back and feed their babies. So they are kind of murdery in that respect, but it really takes quite a few to actually bring down a person and kill them. I think some of the literature was over hornet stings would really cause someone to have to go to the hospital, but it is an extremely painful sting. So I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for being on the program.
All right, thank you.
I'm Britton Rucker, and this has been Ag AM in Kansas.
Okay, looks like it's time for our tour. Welcome to the Fort Wallace Museum. Here at the museum, you're going to find some really interesting stuff, like our replica stagecoach from the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. We've got facades from the fort buildings. We've got an 1870s flag. There's a plesiosaur that was discovered locally. We've got the Ray pump organ collection. We're a little bitty place with a great big story, and we'd love to have you.
Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on 3 main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people, just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.
This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Welcome back to Ag AM in Kansas. Next up, learn how one professor at K-State is using genetic engineering to enhance soybeans in the near future.
My name is Carol Trig. I'm a professor in plant pathology at Kansas State University. And my project that I'm working with that the Kansas Soybean Commission is funding is using genetic engineering to enhance soybeans. And in particular, what we are doing is we're looking at 2 things. One is we're looking at soybean cyst nematode, how to protect against that. And with this project, we are looking at using a technology called RNAi, or RNA interference, that we will produce small molecules in the soybeans that are directed or targeted to nematode genes. If the nematodes ingest these molecules that are produced in the plants, they will then shut down particular genes within a nematode, possibly killing those. And so in this past year, what we've been doing is we're taking our plants and we're doing field trials. Unfortunately, it was really wet out there, and when we were planting, it was pretty muddy. I didn't think we were going to have anything, but it did dry out enough that our plants grew. Looked very good. We actually looked at the nematode counts, and it looks like that some of our transgenics are outperforming our controls, which is a great thing to be. What this is showing us is that we are getting some fairly good results where we're getting nematode protection. With these beans, we were able to harvest what we had in the field, so we have more seeds to work with. Next year, what we're planning on doing is we're going to be doubling our field plots and also evaluating additional genes that we have going out in the field. Once we show that the genes are actually working the way we want them to, the next step is actually taking these lines that we have and interbreeding those with the varieties that our soybean breeder has at K-State, so that we get adapted cultivars for the region. The other thing is we're going to need probably industrial support to push this through to the next stage.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we're glad to answer and work with you.
I'm Bob Swartz, and I've devoted the last 43 years to helping Kansans reach their retirement goals and to protect the family farm. At Bob Swartz Financial, we believe everyone should be able to live the retirement they've always dreamed of. Our team of professionals can help you create an efficient strategy using a variety of investment vehicles to help you address your financial needs and your concerns. Bob Swartz Financial values commitment and transparency.
This segment brought to you by Farm Credit Associations of Kansas, lending support to rural America, and by American Ag Service, your DuPont Pioneer dealer.
I'm Britton Rucker, and this is Ag AM in Kansas. I am at the Young Farmers and Ranchers Conference, and with me now is Colton Sutterby from K-State, and you just won the Quiz Bowl.
Yes, ma'am.
What experiences led you up to this moment?
So I've been competing in the past 2 years. This is my third year competing, and we've won it every single year, even the year before I started competing. So we wanted to carry on the tradition. So to get ready, we introduced it to them last fall, put that bug in their ear, and then we started practicing once we got back from winter break, and you see what happened now. So yeah. We're glad to be here.
Yeah. So K-State really did well as both of your teams were in the finals.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we had a little trouble getting enough members, but once we did, obviously it turned out great.
Now, did you join the Collegiate Farm Bureau freshman year?
Yes, ma'am. My family was never in Kansas Farm Bureau, but I talked with several members that were part of it at the College of Ag Watermelon Feed, and thought it'd be a great opportunity to broaden my network of connections and learn more about the Farm Bureau as a whole. So I joined as a freshman and kept continuing. Now I've been an officer for the past 2 years.
Now, really, what is the benefit of being a part of something like Young Farmers and Ranchers?
You learn about all sides of agriculture, especially the policy and legislator side. That side I've never been exposed to, really. I've just been around agronomy or crops, animals, whatever, but not the policy and law. So that's a huge benefit for me, along with the connections you make.
Well, very good. Well, once again, congratulations, Colton.
Thank you.
And this is Ag AM in Kansas, and I'm Britton Rucker.
At Farm Credit, we partner with America's farmers who work hard each and every day to grow the food that we all enjoy. It's not an easy task, but it's an important one. Farm Credit is proud to work with farmers and ranchers, lending support in rural America.
Highways 40, 83, and I-70 come together right here in Oakley. Roads that lead to businesses, to magnificent rock formations, to scenic vistas, to places where legends were made. Roads that lead us home. Discover Oakley, the gateway to western Kansas.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
Welcome back to Ag. AM in Kansas. Next up, watch as the Kansas Beef Council showcased the cars in a virtual ranch tour.
What would you say, Jill, is our biggest challenge?
In our marriage?
Yeah, start there.
Alarm clocks.
Hey, don't look at the camera. I want to show you guys the best part of my day every day. Hey, my name is Isaac Carr. I am the owner of 8 Rows Land and Cattle. 8 Rows Land and Cattle is a small backgrounding feed yard here located in the foothills of Kansas. And I'm gonna take you guys around with me for about a week. I'll grab my coffee, my call sheet. Just touched my nose, I'm sorry. Coronavirus. I have a sheet here with the list of the ingredients I have, and I have a nutritionist that builds me a ration that is designed specifically for the type of cattle I have and what our performance goals are with the cattle. This batch sheet tells me exactly how much of each ingredient I need. I would call myself a rookie in this industry. I've owned 8 Rows Land and Cattle for about, I've actually lost track, 5 years now. Actually, right out of high school, when my first year of college, I wanted to be a teacher. Right after college, I spent a winter out in western Kansas riding pins at a big commercial feed yard, and I loved that. And then after that, that summer, I went out to Colorado and looked after cattle in the mountains, and that was a lot of fun too. I moved home, and then Dad and I said, okay, let's figure this out. We were gonna expand and build a little feed yard for me to run. And I had been working at this place kind of part-time, kind of like day help. And just one day I asked the owner, I said, hey, any chance you want to sell? And before I knew it, we were shaking hands and signing pieces of paper, and all of a sudden I owned a feed yard. And that was a very surreal moment. To this day, it's surreal that I'll be out here riding pins and I kind of just look over everything and I'm like, dang, I actually did it. This is crazy. The passion has driven me to giving these calves in my care the best possible life I can, with feed delivered every day, low stress cattle handling, doing that all on a horseback. Cindy needs to brush it off pretty bad. And we've begun shedding. So what we're gonna do now, I got 3 pens of cattle that are all the same group. They're actually heifers that will be turned out to graze grass here in a month or so. And I'm just gonna simply get these cattle out of the pen, and I'm gonna turn them out into one of my grass traps. Any chance I can get cattle out of a muddy pen, I will. Here they go. Since they're flowing, I'm just gonna kind of back up, get out of the way, and let them do it on their own.
Emily, can you wave? God, thank you for this day and for this meal and for the food you've blessed us with and everything else you've blessed us with. Please bless it to our use, and I pray that we can love you and love others. Amen.
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 Where's your nose?
Good job. Pray for rain. Cheers.
All right.
Thank you.
We are about to go gather a set of cattle. I need a refreshment. Coke. See, I got the body cam strapped on. I'm forgetting a bunch of things, but what we're gonna do is try to gather 250 steers and heifers by myself. And I've done it before. It usually takes a lot of patience, and need cattle to go through that gate there. Now what I'll do is I'll put about 20 to 30 in this alleyway here at a time and just sort them, let steers go by me and the heifers stay, or vice versa, and just kind of chip away at it like that. Show you as much of that as I can. Steers have an ear tag in the right ear and heifers have an ear tag in the left ear, and that's my first indication. I think it's gonna be easy. I don't know. Probably let steers go by. Come on, girls. Oh, big guys this year. Little. Back up. Hey, don't let the camera.
When we come back, we'll have more with the cars here on Ag AM in Kansas.
What if we dreamed bigger? What if we looked beyond ourselves to the world outside? With the world population over 7 billion, who will lead us into a sustainable future? Kansas State University's Agronomy Department is working to build that brighter future for us all. As a career in high demand, we're working to understand, manage, and protect Earth's vital resources. We help farmers manage and grow their harvest by studying the science behind plants, soils, and the environment, providing a higher standard of living for all, while being good stewards of our natural resources. We work to make the future greener. We work to make the future brighter. Explore a rewarding career and join us in helping feed the world. Discover the possibilities with Kansas State University Agronomy.
Kansas Farm Bureau has served farm families in rural Kansas for more than 100 years. We're pleased to offer new healthcare coverage choices for Kansans in 2020 through Kansas Farm Bureau health plans. No matter what stage of life you're in, we'll have options that fit your lifestyle. Plus, our network of providers is one of the largest available throughout the state of Kansas and beyond. For more information, including the different plans available, or to get a quote, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com. Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Let us help feed your family.
Welcome back to Ag AM in Kansas. We're continuing with the cars and their virtual ranch tour brought to you by the Kansas Beef Council.
Hey, what's up? It is Sunday, and I'm about halfway through feeding. And while the wagon mixes a little bit, grinds up a bale of hay, I'm gonna make ear tags. I try to take pride in making ear tags because growing up, my dad always had like the prettiest ear tags that you could always read. They looked good and uniform. And it's important to me too because I need to be able to read that tag and know what it is and be able to see it from a distance and not wonder if a 3 is an 8 or if a 9 is a 7. It needs to be clear. The lot number is what goes up top here. These are G135s. G, it'd be the cattle owner, it'd be their name or their identity. 1 would be the first set of calves they sent me. And 35 is the date they came in and the weight they come in. 3 being March, 5 being a 5 weight. If you're gonna make ear tags for me, you have to make the 3 a specific way because that's the way my dad did it. These calves came in on Friday here locally, raised locally, and today is Sunday. Yesterday the wind was howling, so I elected not to process these calves. Get these 46 head worked, get them into pen 7 with the rest of their group, be ready to go. And I take a lot of pride in processing cattle, and I try really, really hard to go slow and easy, make it a good experience for that calf. I know I'm adding some stress, but everything I can do to minimize that stress level will just benefit me and these calves in the long run. Hey boys, let's go, come on. Come on, cowboys. Just got home. I want to show you guys the best part of my day every day. Say hi. This house is where I grew up, and Emily's room is my bedroom, my old bedroom, and that's coming full circle for us.
Thanks for watching Ag Etc. As always, I'm Britton Rucker, and I'll see you next week here on Ag AM in Kansas.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agamInKansas.com.